Welcome to my channel, friends. Have you ever wished you could go back and give your younger self just 5 minutes of advice? Not to change your life, just to make a few parts easier. Isn't it funny how sometimes life says no to one dream, but quietly sneaks pieces of that dream into your future anyway? Right now, for me, I'm back in high school at the High School of Art and Design. I didn't get the major I wanted. I wanted to major in interior design. By the way, I'm painting. I'll show it to you if I can. Um, and they didn't have an interior design course. Go figure. High School of Art and Design. No interior design. I don't get it. We had graphics, which is part of interior design because you measure things. It's not just creating furniture or putting it here or there. It's arranging the total inside of a house or a room. Architecture is designing the whole outside and where each room is going to go. That's architecture. Interior design is something completely different, but it's still a specific skill that you have to know certain mathematics, unfortunately, about it. But they didn't have that. So what did I do? What major do you think I chose? That's a good one, Jerry. Don't be in such a rush. But you want to know what major I chose? Fashion design. I still don't know the first thing about fashion design. The only thing that I can do very well was match colors. They would they'd give us a swatch of fabric and tell us to make it on, in a small square on the same page. I could get the colors almost exactly the same. But when it came to design a dress, design a shirt, no. No. I just, no imagination. Even now, if I wanted to design something, I couldn't possibly imagine what I would design. Interior design, on the other hand, well, the one thing I did take from the school, at least, I mean, like I said, I learned graphics, which is a part of architecture and interior design and all that other hoo ha. Um, but my art classes, they forced, yes, it was mandatory to take certain art classes. We had to take graphics, we had to take sculpture, we had to take painting, we had to take charcoal drawing, we had to take photography. Those were the five I had to take the first year. The second year, they gave me history of art and first thing in the morning. You think I ever went? No, I was not a good girl. I didn't go. I cut class. But I managed to find my way through. And all of those techniques that I learned, especially about drawing and painting and, you know, that sort of thing, and color and graphics and everything else, It's helped me now. I was dreaming to be some sort of artist. I was always drawing when I was younger. I was always painting, which is why I got into the high school of art and design. But I am talking about that a lot, aren't I? Jerry lacks imagination. You're a follower. I'm not a follower, but I'm far from being the first in line either. But the thing is that if I were to go back then, what would I tell myself? I would ask. Here's the first thing. I would never say you should. Those are the two worst words in the English language. You should. I was told what to do a lot when I was younger. My mother was, yeah, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this and that and everything else. Ice, hello, welcome. So I would never say you should, but I might say think about your choice. Do you really want fashion design? Do you think about it? Could you really do it, or do you want to stick with interior design? I would probably have said, my younger self, I want to stick with the interior design. And maybe, knowing now, if I knew then what I know now, I probably would have put my stuck my sights on graphics because that is it's not graphic design. It's learning angles and mathematics for this and how to. It's very close to architecture and interior design. Into the disciplined designers. Welcome, Ice. Yes, we're all YouTubers here. I hope. Not sure where else. You could be what? No, I don't have this going anyone else. Anywhere else. Oh my goodness. I can't talk. There was a point to that story. If it comes back to me before the live stream ends, I'll let you know. We all know my memories are a scenic route with an occasional U-turn, a cat interruption, and somehow everyone still arrives at the destination. But I've been thinking about that this week. I don't really have any regrets. Every choice I made brought me here. But there are a few things I wish someone had whispered in my ear years ago. So while I paint, good for you, Isaiah. Loves playing in the snow. But I'm hoping that maybe something I say tonight might trigger a different choice in someone else, a better choice. I don't know. You know me. I like to help people. I can't help it. I like to help people. So that was my teenage self. Oh, if I knew then what I know now, my choices would have been different. And then again, maybe not. You never know. But it would have been easier for me because I would have had a career. I would have been able to. I couldn't stick with fashion design. I just had no talent for it. None. So why? kill myself the way I did going through 3 years of sheer torture. No, it wasn't sheer torture. I did, like I said, I learned photography, I learned sculpting, I learned art, I learned design, I learned all that stuff. And it's doing me good now because I'm diamond painting, I'm crafting, I'm creating paintings, I'm latch hooking, I'm doing artistic work. And a lot of this, I've been going to ChatGPT to get advice on my painting. How do I get this sort of feel in the picture? How do I get? I know a lot, but not everything, and there are some things that I've just plain forgotten. My brain hits a loading screen and disappears. Hey, accidents and fibro and age, they're killing me. But let's see what we got here. Ooh, that's wrong. Anyway, think about what you would say to your younger self, your teenage self. Again, you're not going to force anything because you know, and I know, if you were told, if somebody told you you should, you might do the exact opposite. My mother was brilliant at that. She always said, "Oh, you should do this, you should do that." It's the same with why don't you? Why don't you change this? Why don't you go there? Why don't you do this? Why is that person? Why is he doing that? Why, I don't know why he's doing it. And there's nothing I can change about it. So why are you asking me? I know. I'm being very silly today. But then I've learned a lot of silly things. I'm sorry. I'm losing it. Yeah, it does happen to all of us, Jerry. But let's go on. Okay, now I'm in my 20s. And here comes that guy. The first one, I mean, I had a lot of fun in high school. When I graduated high school, the first guy that I got serious with, I married. I met him because there was an advertisement for a singer for a band, and I auditioned and I got the job. He was the guitar player, and we hit it off. I gotta tell you, Jose was the ugliest man I've ever seen, but he was so ugly. He was adorable. I mean, he really I don't know how to explain it. It's like when you look at a pug, it's such an ugly face, but it's adorable. It's cute. That's what he was. But I learned a lesson from that. Would I have told I would have told myself, I would have suggested, are you sure you really want to get married? You may be stuck with him for a long time, and you don't really know him that well because I think it was like 9 months we had been seeing each other. That's not enough. That's not a long time. That's not enough time. And I was right because we were at a club. We were staying upstairs on the third floor. The club was down on the bottom. Actually, it's O'Brien's in Annapolis, and it's still there. I can't believe that. That was fun. And Something happened. We had an argument, and he hit me. If there's one thing or you can do that will stop me from giving you even a second chance, it's that. You do not get violent with women or men. I don't, I don't condone it. I don't like it. And that was the first time and the last time, because from there, we split. I got my divorce down in Florida, and everything was fine. But I would have asked myself, are you sure you know what you're doing? I mean, it's not bad to change your mind. You're allowed to change your mind. Stick with just being together in the band for now. But again, I couldn't tell myself you should, because I would have done what I did, which is marry the guy anyway. Yeah, that wasn't very smart. But you live and you learn, right? Right. Okay. That guy. Mm. The other thing I would have talked to myself about is friendship. I am very easy to make friends with. I make friends with a lot of people, and very easily too. The problem is the friendship never seems to last. And in some ways, I blame myself, because you can't have a one sided friendship. So when that person doesn't call you back, or you're the one who keeps calling and they never call you, it doesn't work and you drift apart. That's what's happened to me. I have two best friends. I have two friends that I've had for more than 10 years. One I've had for almost 40. Um, and that's because there was interesting things to talk about. We went out, we got together. She'd come over to my house, watch TV. We'd order in. I'd go over to her place. We'd watch TV, order in. We had a girls' night out once a week, and we had fun. I still have her, Lynn. She's still my friend. Also, she's got money and she's very generous. But that's not why I used to warn her about people who became her friend and then asked for money. That heals me. Really does. So I would have told myself, if they don't want to keep up the friendship, let them go. But maybe you need to be calling them more often and making an effort. I'm not going to say, you should do this, you should do that. Just, you might want to. Jerry says my first marriage was to my high school sweetheart. It was expected. I was in a rush to grow up. No, he is my ex. Yeah, I know that feeling. Oh, I forgot my water. I'll be right back. I have to have water. Oh, that hurt. Funny, I thought Rebecca was the only one who does this. Gets up, go get some. No, I'm doing it too. I've got. I really like this topic, and it's probably going to last more than just this live stream because there are so many stories to tell about, about what I've done and what I should have done. Now, I can tell myself I should have done this, but still, I have no regrets. It wouldn't, if I didn't to make the choices I made, where would all of you be? Where wouldn't I be? So I don't regret any choice I made because here I am with you guys. And I like it. I found YouTube. I've been on YouTube for what, 6 years, 7 years? I may not have a lot of subscribers or people viewing, but I think I've learned now that I'm a conversationalist. I just like to have a conversation. And a conversation is when you tell stories about yourself. We're getting to know each other. It would be nice if Jerry is giving me an idea of who she is. I love that. Thank you, Jerry. Well, you know I love you anyway. And that's how you make a friendship. You talk to each other. You tell each other about your likes and dislikes and your concerns and your childhood and your adulthood and what you've done and what you like, what you've read. I mean, everybody knows I'm a sci-fi fantasy freak. I love it. I can't help it. I do. I am in love with science fiction and fantasy. In fact, I'm reading a book right now about AIs. And there's like 50 books in the series. There's a lot of books out, but I just started with the beginning. How did our protagonist, and there's one, you would say a female AI, that's throughout the series, how did she come to be? So I'm learning her birth and her development. And I just read the first book on that. On It's incredible because it goes from AIs, which were declared illegal after, we're now in the future somewhere, and then ascension war between the AIs and organic people. And then after that, I don't know what happens, but they reach an accord. I know that. When? Which book? Beats me. But I'm looking forward to reading those stories. If you're interested, look up Aeon 14. AEON 14. The first book is Rise. Lyssa. Lyssa's Rise. So cool. But then I like sci fi too. What does Jerry say? Project Hail Mary. Have you read it and or watched the movie? No, I haven't. I never even heard of it. That's strange. Why aren't these erasing? Now, if you were to see what I'm doing here, I've got my sketch below, and a few days ago, I started inking. In other words, making the sketch a little darker so that I can, it looks distinct. But I made copies, I duplicate. Unfortunately, I've learned that every time you duplicate something in Procreate, it loses sharpness. So I've got all these copies. God knows where the original is that I made. I've got all these copies that are now gray and fuzzed out. It's not fair. So I started to retrace them, but I kept making stupid errors and it wasn't coming together and I didn't like it. So I stopped and now I'm painting. That's just one of the houses. I love the design. Oh, and I started on a new design. A beachside square, where it's right off the dock, off the bay, and there's an ice cream parlor and a supply store and a cafe and I don't know what else, but a couple of other stores. And I'm painting them all different colors, pink and red and blue, and like this one is blue. These are all going to be different colors too, because that's what I like. I like that look. But it's taken me a long time because I am, unfortunately, a perfectionist. And I go into way too much detail for my own good. I mean, everything has to be just right. I can't, the thing is, I'd use the fuzzy things to color, but if I don't clean up between the blurred out lines, the paint doesn't show up. I learned that the hard way. So I go in to try and use my little eraser in here, which is convenient, and clear up in between the lines. This is taking forever. I might as well just retrace it. So I started retracing it. We all know what happens with that. I stop, I go back to it the next day, and I forget what brush I used. It's not fair. It's true. I keep forgetting what brush I use. And I know what I should do is set up a shelf in the library that I'm working with, or just in a separate library, for that particular project, and make a copy of every brush I use and leave a little note. This is what I used on the windows. This is what I used for the stairs. You know what I mean? So you know exactly which one you used before. I don't know how to keep track of all those either. I mean, have you seen how many I have? Let's see if I can give you an idea. Can you see this? I can't tell because I got something in front of me. There we go. All right. You see? You see this? These are all libraries. This for watercolor, for pens, for oil, for chalk, for what is it? For fur, because I do paint a lot of cats. Stained glass, that's something different. Oil brushes, textures, nature brushes that are specifically and best for drawing, making nature paintings, for shade and stippling and splatting and, you know, all that stuff for paper and canvas and special effects and glitter. Don't forget the glitter and glow and stamps. There are a lot of stamps. I don't care for stamps too much. They're okay, but and it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous how many I have. But I tend to go back. I look and I find the ones I want. I've even made. I'm started to make samples of each. Because in the library, like in my watercolor library, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 5, 6, 7, 38, 39, 40. You can see I've got almost 100 different brush sets from various people. Most of them are free, but there are some here that I paid for. Those I pay attention for. I paid for them. I'm going to use them. And I go back to that designer, that artist, and see if she's got tutorials on YouTube, and they usually do. So I'm learning this app better. I'm not learning how to be a painter or how to draw. I'm learning what techniques to use with this app. It's different. There are times that I get very frustrated and I just wish I had a brush and some watercolor paints, or another brush and some acrylics. Or how about the real charcoal? Like, if your fingers all black. I miss that. But I love digital painting. I don't have room for all the crafts and the stuff that I have here. From diamond paintings to latch hook, I have boxes for stamping and polymer clay and, of course, all the storage things we collect. I might tell myself, you really don't need that storage container anymore. Just get rid of it. Don't buy it. Don't spend the money. You don't need it. You'll figure it out later. I wish I had done that. That's something I would have told my younger self, even if it was just a few years ago. Now, where was I? Oh, there I go. We know my brain is on train tracks, and it speeds up, makes a U-turn, turns left, then stops, of passengers continues on. It's a spaghetti bowl. Yeah, I just love having a TBI and fibromyalgia and getting older on top of it. It's like, what the crap? Why is this? Why do I get dumped on? Everything gets dumped on me, and all at once. But you do what you do. You live with what you have to live with. What about money? I know what I'd tell my younger self about money, and I knew it when I was younger, but I didn't do it. I should have put $5 a week out of my paycheck into a savings account. Just $5 a week. Just put it in off the top. But I wasn't making money consistently. I was working, then not working, then working, having my accident, and working, and not working. And then it was all the part time stuff. And I never had enough money. So I had to go into my 401ks and my savings accounts. But if I had put away $5 a week and left it there, even if I needed it desperately, just left it there and didn't look at it until I turned 65, I'd probably have over $1 million and be able to have my money making money for me and being able to live with some disposable income and to collect more stuff. But that's what I would tell myself. If I knew then what I know now. Unfortunately, I did know then what I know now. I just didn't do it. Sometimes you can be stubborn, even if it's your own self telling. Have you ever had an older person say to you, "You'll figure it out when you get older"? Son of a gun. You got older and you figured it out. And now we are older and we figured it out. Late in the day, at least for me, because I have no prospects to earn more money, which is a shame. But who knows? Maybe I can start selling my paintings. I don't know. You never know what life is going to bring you. And that's always been my philosophy. You never know. So why not try? It can't hurt. Often it produces results. My mother once told me, don't take no from someone who can't say yes. I thought about that for a long time and I said, when I call customer service for a problem and they say no, I ask for a supervisor. When the supervisor says no, I say, do you have the seniority or whatever? I forget what the word is now. To say yes? If you can't say yes, I'm going to go up higher in the chain. Now we can't. I can't put you there. I am the highest. What I started doing, believe it or not, And this is because one of it was from business. It was from my brother's business. I went. I called the president. I called the president of the company. I found his number somewhere. You can find any number anywhere. And I called. And I get the secretary and I say, "Hi, this is, I'd like to speak with so and so." Sorry, he's busy right now. Can I send you to the vice president? Can he help? I said, possibly. They sent me to the vice president. Well, the president's office sent me to you. And when you call the next person, the president's office sent me to you. The CEO's office sent me to you. The financial, the lawyers, the HR sent me to you. Whatever it is, if they can't say yes, if they do not have the permission to say yes to something, don't take no for an answer. I never have. And I usually get what I want. But then again, I also treat them nicely. Customer service is not easy for a lot of people. They don't have patience. They don't have patience when they're calling customer service, let alone being customer service, because you deal with a lot of irate customers. But when I call and I have a serious problem, I don't want to be irate. I want to laugh. I want to make them laugh. I want to get to know them. This and that. I make them feel at ease. They're more likely to give me stuff. They're more likely to give me a free channel on my Xfinity that I don't want to pay for. They're more likely to give me more time on my cell phone. Whatever it is, if you are nice, amazing what you can get. But I digress. We were talking about if I knew then what I know now, which is why I usually end my lives with be nice, be good, be kind, be wonderful, and be safe. Oh, darlings, until the next time, arrivederci.